Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so very much for tuning in to my super chat. Thank you so very much. We have a lot to talk about. Happy Memorial Day to everyone, and God bless, especially the families who have lost loved ones and the people who have done so much for our country. Thank you, and God bless you, and happy Memorial Day. And to the veterans and to soldiers who are watching, thank you so very much for your sacrifice. The Democratic Party is going to impeach President Trump. It's just a matter of time. I am pretty certain that's going to take place. And I don't see if they think, I don't know if they think it's going to help them or not. I know that they have no choice. Democrats have no choice. They really have no choice. They're stuck between no collusion and no obstruction, no indictments from Mueller, which will lead to, of course, Comey, Strzok, McCabe, Clapper, Brennan, all of them. They're all going to be taken down by the weight of their own corruption. They fabricated everything. So, I mean, like, they had Russia for 2 years. Then they had obstruction for a moment. They don't have anything else. What do they have? They don't have policies. They're not going to pass Medicare for all legislation. You think they're stupid? They're not going to pass Medicare for all legislation because they're deceiving their voters. Their voters love to be deceived. They have some kind of infatuation with that. They have nothing. What are they going to do? They can't fall back on policy. They can't fall back on fear-mongering. They can't fall back on Russia. What are they going to do? They already have painted Trump as a monster even before he won the election. That doesn't work. The economy is great. There are more jobs. There are more job openings than workers to fill them. There's a 50-year low in unemployment. GDP is soaring. What are they going to do? They have nothing else to do. They have nothing else to do. They have the media, which is good at fomenting division and continually harping and pushing the same story. That is what Democrats enjoy. They have nothing to get them excited. They have nothing but, well, Russia cheated Hillary Clinton and infiltrated the election. And although Trump didn't, there was no evidence he colluded, there were a lot of contacts. And you know what? He probably did something bad. So now we have his taxes. We want his tax returns. We want his information on his businesses. We know he's doing something bad there. They don't have anything. But the problem they face is if they impeach and by the way, Hillary Clinton is running again. Hillary Clinton is running. Madam Cyberhack is running again. I am telling you, it's going to happen. From now until November, she has all the time she needs to just relax and wait until Botox Biden either, I don't know, falters a bit, or just today there was a Slate article, current models predict Trump victory. That's letting them kind of, current models, what happens if Hillary runs? But you're going to hear Elizabeth Warren right now. So listen to Elizabeth Warren. The Golden Moo is running, and one of the things they're going to run on is this is an impeached president. They're pretending that, and then the declassification, which is the main thing. Once Trump and William Barr and John Durham declassify information and expose what's really going on, media will try to spin it and say, well, Peter Strzok, the way they do with Peter Strzok saying we will stop Trump, not a problem. It's no big deal. It's just his opinion. Then you have to hear 5 hours of implicit, explicit, subliminal, subconscious bias from Hillary Clinton. So if you don't vote for Clinton, you're biased. in some manner. But if you hear "we will stop Trump" from Peter Strzok, it's just his opinion. It's not a problem. But right now, they have nothing. But right now, you're going to hear, ladies and gentlemen, the soulful sounds, the wonderful voice of Elizabeth Warren, who's going to blame Trump for everything. Things that have nothing to do with the president. And then she's gonna say, "Look, you know what? Well, you'll hear her. So listen to this, okay?" Oh Lord.
Say that she has no plans to immediately initiate impeachment proceedings.
So there is no political inconvenience exception to the United States Constitution.
Here. This is, by the way, this is in April. Okay? This is in April. They've been talking about this and steadily building this up. Okay? You have billionaires who have spent hundreds of millions of dollars on this. They want to impeach Trump because they think that impeaching Trump will further their chances in 2020 with Hillary Clinton, with Madam Cyberhack. The Golden Muumuu is running again. The Golden Muumuu is running again. Let everybody know. And the left, who pretend like, I don't even like Clinton. Don't you see this? I'm an anarchist. Don't you see this? This rose on my Twitter profile. I don't even like Clinton. Oh my God, everyone's going to vote for Clinton. All the people who are like, he's so bad. Trump, look at the things he says and does. Meanwhile, they'll vote again for somebody who's infinitely worse on every issue, from race to foreign policy to every issue. Anyway, they're a bunch of hypocrites. And when she runs, my voice will be vindicated a millionfold. But anyway, this is the woman who failed her DNA test.
If I can, I want to take a little time on this because I think this is really important.
You take as much time as you want. By the way, thanks for supporting Bernie Sanders, and backing him when Bernie was running. Now we know that there are two frauds, not just Bernie, but also the person who failed her DNA test. This is when I was on the left. Thank God I'm a Trump supporter now.
Last Thursday, I've been to South Carolina. This was all about climate change. That's where I was. South Carolina, coastal communities that were.
President Obama presided over the largest expansion of oil and gas production of any president in U.S. history. Let's just domestic. Obama biggest recipient is BP Cash, British Petroleum. Hold on one second. Oil. I want to read you the quote from CNN. The irony of President Obama's oil legacy, June 15, 2016. CNN. America's biggest oil boom came under Obama. Gee, tell us more about fossil fuels and Elizabeth Warren. Obama has presided over the biggest increase in oil production in American history. Well, isn't that interesting? The greatest oil boom in this nation's history has occurred during the tenure of self-proclaimed environmentalist Barack Obama. This is CNN, January 28th, 2015. So it's like, under Obama, the steady drop in U.S. oil production, which had occurred virtually unchecked since 1971, has been reversed. Tell us more about climate change, you hypocrites. So we were dropping in oil production, and now we increased. This is going to help climate change. Someone tells Tom Steyer. Crude oil production has risen every year of his administration. It has jumped 72% since he took office. This is in 2015, producing about 3.6 million additional barrels a day. So good for climate change. So good for climate change. Greatest expansion of domestic oil production in U.S. history. Tell us more about climate change. Is it buffering? I don't know, because I actually put it on pause so I don't hear myself when I play the person who failed her DNA test. Let's continue. Okay. Sorry.
I then came to Colorado, the biggest drought in 1,200 years.
You're going to blame him for the drought? What the?
And then to Utah, where they had one of the worst wildfire seasons in a generation.
Trump's fault.
And I'm on an airplane coming back, and the Mueller report drops. And so I start reading it on the airplane. I read it on through the evening. I read it into the wee hours of the morning. And
did you find any evidence of collusion? Let us know, because nobody was indicted on anything. Whereas James Comey covered up Clinton's crimes of transferring top secret and special access program intelligence. But let us know what you found.
When I get to the end, 3 things just jump off the page. I don't care if you're a Democrat or
Tell us the 3 things.
Republican, an independent, a libertarian, a vegetarian.
She said vegetarian.
3 things just totally jump off the page. The first is that a hostile foreign government
that the Democratic Party allowed that President Obama's administration did not veto a sale of 20% of U.S. uranium capacity. A hostile foreign government that President Obama referred to as the 80s want their foreign policy back, Mitt Romney. So tell us more. Sorry, I spent all my life on the left up until somewhat recently, the past couple of years, past year and a half or so. Can't fool me. I already know all the tricks. You cash flowed into the Clinton Foundation from Uranium One. That's according to the New York Times. Bill Clinton met with Vladimir Putin. So please spare us the Facebook ad nonsense. What do I care about the DNC? Nobody does. If a hostile foreign country showed us that Bernie Sanders was cheated, we should probably thank them.
Attacked our 2016 election.
No, they didn't. No one attacked any election. What you're trying to say is that somebody within. Okay, so what Warren is saying is that the Democratic National Committee was allegedly infiltrated. We know this from CrowdStrike, and CrowdStrike is a third-party tech firm that was outsourced by the Democrats. The conflict of interest there is glaring. The United States government never looked at DNC servers, and the ODNI and DHS reports are only moderately they're only confident. There is no certainty. We have no certainty. There's absolutely no certainty the DNC was even hacked. So spare us the lecture, but let's just continue.
In order to help Donald Trump.
Why would they do that, by the way? You haven't explained why. He's been far more belligerent against Russia than President Obama was. So why would they desperately want Trump? Even James Clapper, when he said there's no collusion, stated, we have no clue why they would want Trump. So try again, but let's continue.
The evidence is just there. Read it, footnote after footnote, page after page.
Footnote after footnote, page after page, written by partisans. If you combine the total fundraising, total money they gave to the Democratic Party, it's over $50,000. Mueller's team of attorneys. Not one Trump voter, Not one. Only Democrats and then partisans. Mostly registered Democrats.
Documentation. Part two, Donald Trump welcomed that help.
Hillary Clinton literally asked China to obtain Trump's taxes. Just the other day, she literally asked China to obtain Trump's taxes. So spare us the, oh, he welcomed it. You have zero link between the DNC emails and Russia. Zero. You have no clue. You have zero clue how they were obtained.
So on the first one about what they did, understand, this was a sophisticated attack.
Oh, so sophisticated. So sophisticated. With Facebook ads and the DNC, we have no clue how, let's just say they were hacked. We have no clue what kind of cybersecurity they had. If it's anything like Hillary Clinton's basement server with top secret intelligence, it wasn't much. So tell us more, person who failed her DNA test.
They attacked part of the voting system. That's good.
No, they didn't. They didn't change one vote in swing states, according to Admiral Rogers.
To be an ongoing federal investigation. They hacked into more than 50 computers at the DNC.
No, really? What did they do? Quinn Smith! Quinn Smith, thank you. Thank you.
Elizabeth Warren, who's
okay, let's see. Quinn Smith, thank you.
The DCCC, a very serious attack.
Oh, the Facebook ads. Oh my goodness. These are private entities. This is not the United States government. If the reverse were true, you would tell the Republicans to take a hike.
And Donald Trump welcoming it.
What did he do? Did he have a doormat out for them? How did he I mean, it's like everything is the sensibilities of Democrats. He welcomed it. He welcomed it. Hillary Clinton just the other day said, China, if you're listening, we want Trump's taxes. He welcomed it. Okay.
In the Mueller report, just read it. He gets off the phone from an unnamed caller and looks up and says to the other person in the phone, there are more leaks coming.
What evidence do you have of this? That Trump gets off the phone? That Trump gets off the phone and says, there are more leaks coming. What evidence do you have of this? You have no evidence of anything. Whereas Debbie Wasserman Schultz was forced to resign in disgrace. Deborah Wasserman Schultz. By the way, Elizabeth, thanks so much for backing me up. No, I want to thank you. I want to thank you, Elizabeth Warren. You see, when I needed someone to support my campaign, to back me up, someone who I thought had my back, but you're like the OJ song, backstabbers. They're smiling in your face all the time. They want to take your place. Thanks a lot, Elizabeth. What a fantastic friend you are. That's what friends are for. John, thank you. You are so wonderful, Elizabeth. When I was running against Clinton, I thought the first person that would back me up was Elizabeth Warren. But she never even supported me. So wonderful. Thank you. You endorsed Hillary Clinton, Rodham, who was fantastic. Agent Pepsi won. Last week, I have never lied to the American people. She's doing. Democrats need no evidence and are never held accountable. Yes, that's true. Agent Pepsi won. Agent Pepsi won. Thank you. Thank you as always. Agent Pepsi won. Thank you. Let's continue.
the idea that he was welcoming what was happening from the
Oh,
Russian government. And by the summer of 2016, the report documents.
oh, you mean when they used the Steele dossier and deceived FISA judges? Oh, tell us more. Tell us more, because guess who's going to declassify? William Barr and John Durham. Tell us more. Tell us more. Yes. When Bruce Orr told the FBI, was this before or after, by the way, Attorney General Loretta Lynch called it a matter which she vehemently denies, calling James Comey a liar. Inga Hicks. I live for these Bernie Sanders impressions. I love R&B, so you had me at Backstabbers for the OJ. Inga Hicks, thank you. They're smiling in your face all the time. They want to take your place, the Backstabbers. I don't even be home, but they still keep on calling. That's what they were doing when I wasn't even home. Inga Hicks, thank you. Bull Rachel wins. Hey, have you ever thought of running for Congress, HA? Maybe 20 years from now, 15, who knows? Borracho wins. Thank you so very much for the kind thoughts. Agent Pepsi 1, thank you. Inga Hicks, thank you. Borracho wins. Very kind of you as always. Thank you. Stephanie Lynn, as a Marine Corps veteran and daughter of a POW MIA pilot from Vietnam, God bless you. God bless your father, who never made it home. Thank you for your constant acknowledgement of our veterans. God bless. Thank you, Stephanie. Thank you, Stephanie, for all you've done for our country. And God bless your family. And happy Memorial Day. And thank you. And God bless your father. And Stephanie, thank you so very, very much. Thank you, as always, for watching. POWMI. Wow. Never made it home. Thank you, Stephanie. Thank you, Stephanie. Today is a day, that's my voice. I've written against, I just want Americans home from every conflict. And when I was on the left, that's what drove me. I thought the left was like that. I thought the left wanted Americans home too, but they apparently love interventions. And in The Hill, the Huffington Post, and other publications I've written, Jerusalem Post, I've written it against counterinsurgency conflicts. Stephanie Lynn, thank you so very, very much. Jen Cree, Jen, thanks, HA. When is officially throwing her? Jen, soon. Well, from now until November, but she's running. Oh my God, this is going to be an amazing live stream when she runs. Everyone, Stephanie, Jen, Borracho wins. You all have to be here when she runs. Why aren't I 50 points ahead, you might ask? It's going to be wonderful. Inga Hicks, you have to be here. Everyone, it's going to be fantastic. It'll be absolutely wonderful. Liza Jean Williams, thank you. It will be so wonderful because to hear her voice makes me happy. Doesn't it make you happy? Doesn't it make you happy to hear Madam Cyberhack's voice? It does? Well, since it does, what I'm going to do is this. In the middle of my person who failed the DNA test, I'm going to give everyone a treat. I'm going to give everyone a treat. Yes. A real treat. She's just fantastic. Hold on, where is this? Oh yeah. I'm gonna put my speakers there. This is a treat for everybody. Hold on.
Now, having said all this, why aren't I 50 points ahead, you might ask? Now,
yes.
Having said all this, why aren't I 50 points ahead, you might ask?
Oh, you're going to hear all of this very soon. Yes. Yes.
Ask. Now, having said all this, why aren't I 50 points ahead, you might ask? Now, having said all this, why aren't I 50 points ahead, you might ask?
Okay, enough of the torture. Now back to the soulful sounds of Elizabeth Warren. She's going to run, let's see, her husband, Bubba Bill, I went into the race in October of 1991 because I just had to get to the Oval Office to do my thing, to stand up for America in the Oval Office, to be stern and rigid in the Oval Office. He entered the race in October of 91. So he can enter late. She's going to enter late. I don't know when she'll enter, but she has until October, November. Let's continue with this.
That by that point, the Trump campaign actually had a worked out formal process for dealing with the leaks.
No, you mean like buying a Steele dossier with active Russian intelligence officers? Oh, that's Hillary. Oh, I'm sorry. You mean like actually going to the Ukraine, sending operatives or having operatives find dirt on Manafort, which is essentially dirt on Trump in the Ukraine? Oh, that's DNC official working for Hillary? Oh, okay. Oh, no, that's all Hillary. That's all Hillary Clinton. Sorry.
That were coming in from the Russians. So that's part two. Part three is when the federal government starts to investigate part one and part two.
The federal government never had any evidence of anything. James Clapper admitted that to Chuck Todd. If you read my Federalist article below, you will see, or my Federalist articles generally, usually below in the pinned comment, you will see James Clapper had no evidence of anything. But let's continue. And they never had any evidence. You had Peter Strzok who said, we'll stop Trump. You had James Baker and Lisa Page who wanted to indict Clinton. But you had Tricia Anderson at the FBI who should have signed off on a FISA warrant, didn't. You had Andrew McCabe, whose wife took hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars from Terry McAuliffe and other people, other Democratic PACs. You had so many conflicts of interest, and then you had James Comey, who lied under oath, stating that he didn't exonerate Clinton until after he interviewed her, which was a lie. That it was a unanimous decision not to indict Clinton, which was a lie. James Baker and Lisa Page wanted to. And they go seamlessly from covering up Clinton's crimes to fabricating crimes using a Steele dossier that was not only unverified, it's a compilation of gossip and hearsay and nonsense, garbage purchased by Madam Cyberhack, purchased by Clinton. They started a probe purchased by Trump's political adversary. The federal government not only broke laws, but tried to remove and oust a duly elected president. And they did so as the insurance policy that Strzok talks about. Tara Rose, thank you. So I just love this. They're like, oh, the sanctity of the government. Well, we're going to declassify information. No, you can't do that.
Donald Trump took repeated steps aggressively to try to halt the investigation, derail the investigation.
He should have fired Mueller. He should have fired Mueller because the Mueller probe was started by Comey leaking classified memos. But let's continue.
Push the investigation.
Yeah, it was an investigation without any evidence at all, based on information purchased by Clinton. He should have simply fired Mueller. That would have been fantastic, but he didn't. Kurt133. Check out Hot Dish 3 from Teddy Spaghetti Ask Box today. Okay. Thank you, Kurt133. Thank you.
Somewhere else, but otherwise keep that investigation from going forward.
He wasn't charged on any obstruction, so try again.
And turning into a serious investigation.
You indicted 30 people on nothing to do with collusion with Russia.
About a hostile foreign government that
President Obama's administration allowed the sale of 20% of U.S. uranium capacity to the hostile foreign nation that you're talking about. And by the way, only President Obama could have vetoed the sale. Gee, I wonder why he didn't. That's bizarre. Even Snopes says, oh, yeah, Obama could have vetoed the sale. Why didn't he? Why didn't Obama veto the sale of the uranium to the hostile foreign nation you're talking about?
That attacked us. And
Madam 1,500th.
And about his own personal interests. So here's how I see this.
How do you see this? I'm very interested.
If any other human being in this country had done what's documented in the Mueller report, they would be arrested and put in jail.
No, they wouldn't. If any other human being had done what Clinton did, they would have been arrested and put in jail. If anyone had experienced what Trump experienced, they would have sued, which Trump is not going to sue, but he's going to declassify everything and find out why they set him up and framed him. They set him up and framed him, Senator, and we're going to find out everything. But thanks for sticking to your morals and backing Bernie Sanders.
Obstruction of justice is a serious crime.
It can't be, not when it's a fabricated investigation meant only to frame and set up an individual and people around him. Then you should obstruct justice or push back. And anyway, there was no obstruction of justice. There was not one thing the Mueller team wanted and didn't get, as opposed to Clinton, who deleted emails, gave servers that were wiped clean. What else? They utilized the government to ensure that the government obstructed justice for her. They gave everyone immunity. So they didn't make anyone flip and sing the way they did. I mean, it was complete. Clinton not only you want to talk about obstructing the justice, she called it a security review. And James Comey said, oh my God, it's not a security review. I'm so upset. I mean, is it not obstructing justice if Clinton's campaign says it's not really an investigation? It's just, competing agencies, their problem. If Trump did that, you'd be like, oh my God, he's obstructing.
In this country. But Mueller believed, because of the directions from Donald Trump's Justice Department.
Valerie, it's finger pointing time. Thank you, Valerie Rogers. Thank you.
That he could not bring a criminal indictment against a sitting president.
No, that's not why, Senator. If they had any evidence to indict him, they would have indicted him. That's what they wanted. Why do you think they investigated? If the issue is that you can't indict a sitting president, then why have a Mueller probe to begin with? Think. That's not the issue. The issue is that there was no evidence, that the evidence is linked to Clinton's funding. And that's it. That's the issue. There was no evidence. There's not even evidence of obstruction. The obstruction cases, as James Comey said, Michael Cohen says, Jeff Sessions' staff member says, people say, someone said Trump was really mean, someone said Trump did this, someone said. Even she was like, oh my God, he got off the phone and he said, yay, more leaks. It's like, how do you know this? Who's telling you this? Oh, and James Comey getting fired is not obstruction. Are you kidding me? President Obama should have fired him. He was insubordinate.
So I think he's wrong on that, but that's what he believed. So he serves the whole thing up to the United States Congress and says, in effect,
then impeach him, which is what you're going to do. Go ahead and impeach him. It's only going to make Trump more popular. The Democrats are single-handedly making Trump this, like, I have the Ramones here, and the Ramones would have liked Trump. But I have the Ramones here. They're making him into a punk rock type of individual. The guy was framed and set up from an administration that allowed the sale of 20% of U.S. uranium capacity to take place. And that's not been debunked. It took place. What they say has been debunked is that Clinton owned the uranium. Yeah, of course, it's impossible for Clinton, and that Clinton allowed the sale to go through. No, but she was on the Committee on Foreign Investment. Then they say, well, she wasn't there that day. She was busy. She was, shopping. It was a big. She wasn't there. It's like, no, you're supposed to be so tough on Russia and Putin. Why weren't you tough? I wonder why.
If there's going to be any accountability, that accountability has to come from the Congress. And the tool that we are given for that accountability is the impeachment process.
Then do it. It's better for me, better for my channel, better for my writing, better for my voice, better for the country mainly, which is most important, better for the United States of America, and better for President Trump. You think anyone cares if the Democrats impeach Trump? They're laughing at you. America is laughing at Democrats and media. They despise, the average American despises media and the Democratic Party, even if they don't like Trump. There are millions of people who don't like Trump, but can't stand the media and Democrats. So that's what the Democrats have done. Go ahead and do it. Stop talking about it and do it already. Do it already. Eraser, keep up the great work, man. Much appreciated. Thank you so much. Thank you, Eraser. Thank you. Do it, Warren. What are you waiting for? It's like when they, yap, 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 yap. Like the guy at the bar or the guy at the club or just whatever. Just some guy like saying, yeah, you want some? You want some? You want? Yeah, yes. Wait, you want fight? Yeah, some. That's not the guy you should worry about. The guy you should worry about is the quiet person who doesn't say anything. That's the person you should worry about. The person who doesn't speak, but instead acts. That's the person you should worry about. Democrats are like, you want some? You want to fight? Huh? No, I'm not going to fight. Yeah. Do it, Warren. What are you waiting for? Do it. Do it. We're waiting.
This is not about politics. This
Not about it, is it? Okay, good.
is about principle.
Steele dossier cheating Bernie Sanders. Tell us more about principle. When you cheated Bernie Sanders, Democrats, Elizabeth Warren, when you failed to even have the courage to back up Bernie Sanders, I thought that the one person who would help me out, Elizabeth Warren, I mean, come on. She's basically a clone of me, or I'm a clone of her, whatever. I would think that my friend, Elizabeth Warren, would have backed me up. Instead, she voted for the Golden Moo-Moo. She said everyone vote for the Golden Moo-Moo. And meanwhile, I'm sitting there with my you-know-what in my hand, and no one's helping me out. And then they cheat me, and then Deborah Wasserman Schultz is forced to resign in disgrace. And then I, of course, don't do anything and get in the bed with all of them because it's my fault that I was cheated because the Russians informed everyone that I was cheated. Tell us more about principles, 1050th lady.
This is about what kind of a democracy we have. In a dictatorship, everything in government revolves around protecting the one person at the center, but not in...
Yeah, you're talking about Clinton. When she runs again, you'll basically be trying to push the form of government you're talking about.
Our democracy and not under our Constitution. We have checks and balances, and we have to proceed here in a way, understanding our place in history, that not only protects democracy now, but protects democracy when the next president comes in, and the next president, and the president after that. But that's our responsibility.
You literally framed, Democrats literally framed Trump with the help of Comey, Strzok, and McCabe, while at the same time cheating Bernie Sanders. You told people it was going to be a fair primary, and you lied. So, I mean, how are you telling? And this person didn't even back Bernie Sanders
on a runoff.
So, let me just say, if you've actually read the Mueller report, it's all laid out there.
No, it's not. That's why they didn't indict anyone. The Mueller report is a rehash of the DNI, the ODNI, and DHS reports, and I talk about that in my Federalist articles.
It's not like it's going to take a long time to figure this out. It's there. It's got the footnotes. It's got
the footnotes. Who cares? It's got the footnotes. Really? There's no evidence. Oh, yeah. Yeah, really. A 50-year low in unemployment. Ooh, goodness. Good point. $50-year low at unemployment. So, okay, so let's continue. The
points, it connects directly to the law. But this really is fundamentally, I took an oath.
Did you take an oath that it would be a fair primary?
To uphold the Constitution of the United States.
Good. Then declassify everything and make sure that Comey didn't commit any crimes.
And so did everybody else in the Senate and in the House.
What about Peter Strzok? Because he said, we will stop Trump.
And I believe that every person in the Senate and the House ought to have to vote.
Yeah, the Senate will make you look really bad. Or will make the House look really bad. The House hasn't even passed Medicare for all. You think they're going to look good after this? I don't think so.
And to say either, yeah, that's okay with me. Yeah, let a president just step in the way he did when he told the White House counsel to go fire Mueller.
Oh, so what? So what? He has that right under the Constitution. And he didn't get fired. Mueller is not a saint.
And then told the White House counsel to go lie about having told the White House counsel to go.
So what? It didn't happen. Mueller wasn't fired, and he should have been.
Go fire Mueller. And then.
And by the way, you have no clue that this is Don McGahn speaking. This is hearsay and gossip. You have no clue. Where are the records? Where are the tapes? How do we know the president said this? If it was Clinton, you'd be like, you can't prove anything.
And told the White House counsel to write a letter saying that Donald Trump had not told him to go fire Mueller. And then to say, why on earth would you take notes about what I said to you?
Who cares about notes? Someone taking notes is not evidence of anything.
The lawyers I deal with never put anything in writing.
This is hilarious.
There are people in the House of the Senate who want to say that's what a president can do.
Yeah, a president could do that if he's being framed and set up. In fact, the president should do that. Now he's going to declassify everything and find out what really went on. Well, if you followed Q, you would already know declass brings down the House. Okay. And that Mueller investigation was the insurance plan. Okay. Trump was supposed to fire Mueller and Rosenstein and then impeach him. Oh, Mohawk girl, thank you. I disagree respectfully. It's a message board, I think, that has no bearing in reality. But I do appreciate you watching. Thank you. Thank you very, very much. Thank you.
When the president is being investigated for his own wrongdoings, or when a foreign government attacks our country.
It wasn't an attack, okay? It wasn't. That is not what took place. You found out that Bernie Sanders was cheated. It was a knowledge that was given to the U.S. to the American voter. You don't like the messenger of the knowledge. You don't like how people found out. That is not a military intervention.
Then they should have to take that vote and live with it for the rest of their lives.
Oh, yeah, they're going to live with it for the rest of their lives. And Democrats are going to look even worse than they already do. So, I mean, this is what always happens. But, ladies and gentlemen, I'll spare you from even more of the senator. Loud citizen. Lawyers she knows never put anything in writing. Loud citizen. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, Madam Cyberhack is running. They're going to impeach Trump because Hillary Clinton's going to run on, oh my God, I'm running against an impeached president. Okay, her husband was impeached. It helped him. So, Democrats have yet to vote on Medicare for all. It's now June, and they own the House. Gee, I wonder why. Democrats are deceiving people like they always do. And then when they lose again to Trump, I mean, who knows what's going to happen? Well, the good thing is the Democratic Party will be completely and utterly obliterated. So that's good. That'll be good. No abolish ICE, no nothing else. There's no ideas. There are no ideas that can actually become laws with Democrats. But, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very, very much. Tricky Vicky! I just got here. Elizabeth Warren is in deep state. Except all she ever did was feign outrage. Exactly. Feign outrage and do nothing. Exactly. And back, and also back Hillary. Tricky Vicky. Exactly. Borcho wins. Maybe it's me. She sounds completely unhinged. Tree climbing. Thank you. Yes, Borcho wins. She didn't sound like she meant it. That's the thing. Borcho wins. Thank you. She didn't sound like she meant it. That's the issue. Ronald Foose. Thank you. That's the thing. Tricky Vicky, thank you. Borcho wins. Thank you so much. It didn't sound like, it just didn't sound like she knew what was, or she really believed it. So, but ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very much. To my super chat, thank you so very much. Happy Memorial Day, everyone. Thank you. And I'll be back a little later. God bless. Thank you so very, very much.